Sorry, Pete. I just have a quick question. The American public doesn't seem to be very confident in your ability to do your job. Will you be resigning anytime soon?
I'm not here for politics. I'm here to make sure the community can get what they need.
Will you apologize?
I want to be
will you
speaking
apologize
to
for the
leaders,
response? For the slow response, taking your
Probably
time?
one of the big things. And let's go in here and get away from these.
No apology?
Why did it take you an entire 2.5 weeks to actually get here to respond to East Palestine? Will you apologize to the residents of this city?
The PR firm that made him dress up like Bob the Builder is really not going to be happy about that question. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of wearechange.org, and we have a plethora of absolutely mind-boggling, crazy news to get into today, as of course, the war rages on, escalates, and endangers the entire world. We're going to be predominantly focusing on the larger geopolitical foreign policy updates that are critically important to talk about that sadly the corporate media doesn't really like to connect the dots on. Gee, I wonder why. There's also a lot of little local news. We'll get into that, plus a lot more. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally shot by Kalen de Almeida. He's a frontlines reporter for TP USA, and the way he asked Pete Buttigieg this question is just perfect. We're going to link to their YouTube channel down in the description below so you could watch more of their work. He's definitely worth following. I just found out about him, and so far I see really good stuff. So yeah, when you get the chance, definitely check him out, as Pete Buttigieg's tour of East Palestine, Ohio definitely is not going as planned. This as the federal government has given zero aid to East Palestine, Ohio. Meanwhile, Trump, the former president of the United States, just delivered tens of thousands of pounds of goods, food, water to the people there that are going through a very difficult time after a chemical spill, a train derailment, and predominantly the establishment not giving a damn about them. All of this as today we're also finding out about 5 people, a part of an independent toxicology team in Ohio, that all just passed away after their plane crashed near Clinton Airport as they were en route to an Ohio metal plant explosion that also just happened a few moments ago. And they're working for the same company that also allegedly was hired to test the water, soil, and air quality in East Palestine, Ohio. And this incident being so close to the Bill and Hillary Clinton airport is making some people oddly suspicious here. This as the Biden administration's PR team also took another big negative hit today, as a fashion designer, one of the women that allegedly was victim of a former Biden administration member, Sam Brinton, just released photos of her fashion clothes which went missing in 2018 after she had her luggage bag stolen, only to highlight multiple photos of Sam Brinton wearing them today. And there's photos after photos of this woman highlighting how her jewelry, her dresses, on multiple occasions were worn by Sam Brinton after going missing from her in 2018, highlighting how this guy was doing this for a very long time. But don't worry, the Danish police are on top of all of this as they're investigating, quote, hate speech on video games. Yes, this is a post on Reddit of the Danish police bragging themselves, patting themselves on the back, that they pretended to be online game players in order to police the internet and make sure that people aren't saying naughty words when they're playing video games. Meanwhile, in Denmark, attacks against women in unspeakable ways has gone up double in 2 years, and with police officers and the establishment out there like this in the streets, this is why being a member of LukeUnfiltered.com is more important than ever, as of course we prioritize being the best, strongest, most independent version of yourself through this online, quasi-secret, not-so-secret online platform where we get to talk to each other. You get a new video almost every single day. There's going to be a really good video coming on later on today. Right after this video, there's going to be a brand new video only available for members where we're going to be getting into some issues that we can't discuss here on this platform while focusing on resiliency, personal responsibility, and along with many other perks and benefits of being a member, it's It's just 50 cents a day. Very quick and easy to sign up here. Just put in your information, put in your email. You get emailed back your login information. You log right in and you get a plethora of really amazing offers and things that are only available to you as a member of this really awesome group of people, and there's a lot of them that are all like-minded, sick of the current status quo, and want to be better in this world. Join this group right now, and I'll see you right there after this broadcast. As of course, we still have to talk about our main topic here. As recently in the United Kingdom, in Oxford, there was a massive protest against the World Economic Forum 15-minute cities that are going to be actually implemented in the United Kingdom soon, a part of a trial program. But this was one protest, a part of many protests in Europe, including one in Germany, where there was a huge anti-war protest specifically, surprisingly, led by the far left that are demanding peace talks, negotiations, and specifically for Western governments, including their own German government, to stop arming and funding the prolongment of this conflict. The conflict, of course, in Ukraine, the larger proxy conflict. This, as it's fair to say, that continuing to fund this conflict prolongs it when it doesn't need to be prolonged. There are a lot of serious ramifications for this conflict, not just for the people of Ukraine, but for the people of this world, as of course they have a lot of global implications which are worth talking about. You don't really hear about this in the corporate media, but geopolitically, things are being realigned and have been continuing to realign for many years now, creating a situation where Russia and China are coming together specifically against the United States and the US petrodollar. We've been detailing this realignment for many years now. This says, of course, just recently, things intensified between China and the United States, with even the Washington Post reporting just recently how China is specifically blaming U.S. hegemony and not Russia for the war in Ukraine. As in yesterday's video, we specifically detailed how China tried to create a peace plan here, but Ukraine decided not to come to the negotiations table. This says the Biden administration might soon even release intelligence information showing how China is considering giving Putin weapons and lethal aid. This as there's probably already covert groups that already act and do this already without the knowledge and official recognition. All of this as tomorrow, February 24th, marks the 1-year anniversary of this start of this larger proxy conflict where the Russians invaded Ukraine. A conflict that many people said would be over in 2 weeks, but we called it here correctly on this independent media broadcast, telling you specifically how this conflict could not just last years, but decades. This as NATO on their official Twitter channel decided to describe the situation that's happening in that country right now to quote, Harry Potter. Yes, just when you thought this larger military-industrial complex organization couldn't get more disgusting, they take the life loss of so many innocent human beings and compare it to Han Solo and Harry Potter. Now, I'm sorry, but this is not an appropriate analogy to be made here when there's so much human suffering, and it's not just a fictional movie to make you feel good about yourself. This as The Hill even wrote an article today detailing how the Ukrainian war is the war before the war, as many other countries are getting involved in this proxy conflict, and it is surely getting out of hand very quickly, as it's fair to say that the West, particularly the United States and the United Kingdom, have been artificially prolonging this conflict when originally Zelensky and Putin even had a preliminary deal that they agreed to. They were supposed to meet in person. Western leaders flew to Ukraine and told Zelensky not to do so. This as Russian politicians have just released statements today saying that the West is, quote, willing to plunge the entire world into the abyss of war. And it slowly does look like we are on that trajectory, especially with the military buildup of China that is dramatically increasing their military forces, particularly their naval fleet, which according to some analysts might soon challenge the U.S. military and its naval power. And again, that's very hard to kind of dictate since the United States spends a lot on the military. And again, 364 days so far of brutal meat grinding like conflict with young men being sent off to die in their prime because of the stubbornness of some politicians. And again, with peace deals, with negotiations, with being able to come to the table, obviously, not everyone will get everything that they want. There is going to be some compromise here. But I think we reached a stage where those compromises would be minuscule compared to what's at stake here. And that is the total derailment, escalation, and destruction of all of humanity. This is what's on the table here. And I think, speaking for myself, studying this and looking into this for many years now, enough is enough here. At least the very thing we could do is sit down at the negotiations table, which, let's be honest here, the United States needs to be in, because the United States is all in on this conflict. The United States has overwhelmingly spent many billions of dollars for this conflict. Russia, Ukraine, the European Union, the United States all need to sit together at a table and just finally end this. Will they though? Well, that's another question. And so far, all signs point to nope. Not going to happen at any time, but I think this is why we still should be calling for peace, calling for truce, while personally, individually preparing for some really unstable, crazy, dramatic times, which we're going to be focusing on LukeUnfiltered.com. That's my particular take on it. Let's just be real. Let's just be honest here. This is how I see it. If you see it any differently, let me know why down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching and sharing these videos, and this is why. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.